Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Creepy Crawl. This is going to be your backdrop. Here, look. It's a mask I'm working on. Cool. I'm going to bring something over to this channel that was originally on the Atari Creep channel. My Road to Mandalore. If you don't know, if you're not familiar, I am trying to join the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club. So I'm going piece by piece, trying to get my costume together. And I thought it would be fun to show you folks where I'm at right now with it, as far as what pieces I have, and maybe throw some ideas out there. Maybe you can bounce it back to me. It's going to be something so far out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing that on purpose for milestone kind of things. So let me shut up. Let me start parading a bunch of stuff in front of the camera, and you can ooh and wow at my kit so far. So one of the first pieces I printed this myself, was the chest plate. The back isn't quite cleaned up yet and ready for proper use. But this is the chest piece I went with. It was a file, I believe, on Thingiverse. And I altered it very slightly and then just used styrene to add my own kind of centerpiece instead of putting the actual jewel piece or whatever the heck that thing's called. I ended up printing it, but I chose not to use it. I just kind of go with my own thing. I do want to clean this up a little bit, but not much. I want it to look rough and everything. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. So that's it was printed in 4 pieces, and I got it together the best I could. And there you go. I think I did this at 20% infill, so it's fairly light. It's fairly light, but the piece I want to show you are, these gloves here. And I don't know, I haven't actually looked into the soft goods part of the requirements because I haven't really gotten that far yet. Right now I'm doing just like the armor and a couple of weapons. But I got these free with my scooter, which it's almost time to pull out of the shed to see if it's still alive. So I cut the tips off, and these had different colors, and I used a Molotov chrome pen to give these a metallic kind of look to them. These ones I left alone. I'm going to darken them up a little bit because, I'm going with that kind of cream look. I'm going to try to match these and that color, and there are chevrons put into the costuming aesthetic too, and you'll see that throughout time as we build and when I show you the last piece. So I don't know if they're going to be worthy of the deal or if I'm going to have to eventually get something else. I'm pretty sure I can't show my fingertips, so I am going to have to get something thin to wear underneath these, but overall I'm pretty happy with these as far as the gloves are concerned. So next, we're going to talk about the armor for the gloves. This, I kept calling it my forearm. So if I say forearm, I mean the back of my hand, my forehands, I guess you would call it. But that's going to attach to the glove with Velcro. The backing, I just put a little bit of packing foam in there to give it a little bit of height. Once I do have whatever Velcro going here too, will also have height. I do want to give it a little bit of edging with a chrome marker, my Molotov chrome marker. And I'm still debating on whether or not to add, like, the chevrons somehow or some way to them. I'll wait till I have more of the pieces together and then kind of look at it as a whole before I decide that. Because right now I can't tell what's too much and not enough. And for anyone, wanting to know, this is what I used for those 2 pieces there. I plan on using this stuff for a couple more pieces. We have a whole bunch of this at work, and it's on clearance, so I ate up a whole bunch of it. I guess there's another brand called Warbler that's similar to this, but a little more rough. It's basically a plastic that you can cut, heat up, and sculpt and mold and do all kinds of fun stuff with. And I'm having a blast using it. It's really great stuff. Next, my thigh armor. This I got on Etsy. And if I remember, I'll put their link down below. And you know what? The turnaround time on this, the cost, and they were able to accommodate me with something. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I'll definitely come back. I will definitely come back for other pieces of my kit. So I ordered one of these and asked them to mirror it. I believe if this is the left one on Mando's original. I can't remember. But I love the look of this, but I wanted 2 of them. So I was like, can you reverse it and then get me, you know, for the second one? They're like, yeah, absolutely. And it didn't take any longer than it should have. I mean, they got this stuff to me mad fast. And these ones are finished. I may have to do a couple touch-ups here and there. And again, I'm not going to do the full weathering until I have it as a whole. So here's a little a belt piece. I don't even know what it would be for. I mean, obviously it's a container or something. I want to say this is a cigarette pack container, maybe not. I don't know where I got it. I can't remember. But I got it, and this was, there used to be clips here, and it went to some kind of a strap system for like a backpack or something. I can't remember exactly, but so I just glued that on there and then sprayed it with the base color of the costume. Pretty cool little thing. It's going to add a little bit of visual interest, I hope, to my belt, which will also have leather things, but we'll get to that when we get to that. You know? We got a couple of weapon options. This should be no stranger to you if you're either into the Mandalorian Nerf guns or both. I can't remember what I got, where I got this piece from, but it's got something to do with plumbing. My landlord's a pool repairman. You know, does liners and stuff like that, repairs your pumps and all that stuff. So I may have gotten that from the scrap pile. The rest of this is just pieces from this, that, and the other. This is a piece from a different Nerf gun, the interior something or other. I plan on having some wires going between the. This is a 3D printed part that was supposed to be for my E11 blaster, but it was too big, so I had to resize it. So I figured I'd use it here and run wires to this, what might be like an energy pack or something. I don't know. This is part of a mech toy that some dude locally gave me a bag full of action figures and mech toys and you know, to make things out of. And one of the things I made was that werewolf. Pretty cool stuff. But that came off of that, and I believe this piece did too. Option number 2 might be hard for you to see until it's actually started worked on. But if you follow anything to do with Boba Fett, he carries a weapon called the EE3 blaster, I believe. It was based off of a flare gun that was more rifle shaped, you know. And then they worked their magic and did greedly stuff and made it what it was. I prefer the Empire Strikes Back EE3 to the one that most people associate with it, with the ribs on the barrel and everything. But long story short, this is a Nerf gun. Here's the other half of it. It's a flare gun, you know, just like the real EE3 originally started as. So I figured I could play around with this. I have a 2-inch PVC pipe somewhere around here that I can put here. And the only thing I'm keeping this for is the hinge and the clasp thing. I'd love to keep the action of this opening and closing, even with all the crap I'll put all over it. So, again, I know this one's going to be hard to see until it's in process, but I think I'm leaning towards this one more so than, you know, the handgun. And maybe I'll keep them both. Maybe I'll have a, you know, a sidearm, and this will be my big blaster, you know, my big gun. Chest piece, got the hands, the legs, the weapons, the little box for the belt. Is there anything I'm forgetting here? Nothing's coming to mind. Damn it, I just broke my foot. Owie! But yeah, this is my bucket. I made this first time doing anything like this, the cosplay thing anyway. And I started off, I believe, with this. I'm pretty sure the bucket was the first thing. Absolutely it was. Because if this didn't work, then the rest of it was not going to work. And you folks are actually getting a closer look at it than anyone else has. I've taken a lot of little videos and pictures of it, but I've never shown it off or gone into great detail as to the design or the parts that are on it. There are some touch-ups I need to do, like over in here. But again, when I have the unit as a whole, then I can do some weathering and see, you know, what I can hide and what I can't. I'm kind of worried about this section here. I'm not sure if that would be considered okay or not within the Mercs. I'll have to do some research and maybe start posting on the forums, showing my progress. And those casts are pretty cool. They'll help you on your journey too, from my understanding. So I just have social anxieties, and it's tough for me to do these things. But hopefully this is going to help me with that. So as you can see, there's a certain theme to it. that I'm hoping people can figure out. I don't want to say it out loud, but it's kind of showing respect for two different genres and kind of characters. One's a villain, and the other is, you know, a Mandalorian, my own character. And that's another reason why I wanted to join the Mercs and not cry out for anything for the 501st. I wanted to make my own character. But yeah, like some of these things were found parts. It's kind of hard to describe what this was from. I got a whole bunch of them. You may see this on the side of that long blaster if I decide to make that. I'm happy with it. The only thing I'm going to have trouble with is my nose touches the visor itself. And that's just your typical welding visor that everyone uses when you cut. I got pieces left over for maybe another. I cut this in such a way that I might be able to get a second one out of it. And hopefully so, because I still have that Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet, so I could probably use it for that. And that would be rad. But yeah, there you go. My helmet. Not that I think you're going to be able to see inside, but there is padding in there. I bought a padding set that somebody had recommended. Honestly, can't remember where. But they were from Amazon, the actual pads themselves. And there's like a larger square back here, 2 rectangles over here, a rectangle on the forehead, and then this big round guy in there. I don't know what you can and can't see, but that makes it a little bit more comfy. Last, we need to talk about the actual character I will be playing. The name I'll write on the screen here. You pronounce it Vork Ease. It's 2 words. Can you connect the dots? I hope so. I hope you can connect the dots. And I'm hoping to be kind of like a, you know, Mandalorian Justice for Hire. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into what is and what isn't allowed and all that stuff. I actually have a whole bunch of printouts that I'm starting to study now. At least before the end of the summer, to be able to present my costume to them for approval. And it would be wicked fun. And if anybody stumbles upon this, you know, subscribe, please. It would mean the world to me. But if you have any kinds of insight and or, you know, tips, tricks, hints, any kind of guidance, I would greatly appreciate it. Because again, I've never done anything like this before. My anxieties sometimes give me overwhelmed by things like this. So I have a bunch of stuff printed, and in my time I'm going to read it so I can understand it better and move forward. So that's why your help would be greatly appreciated. So guys, thank you for watching this. I can only imagine how long this video is going to be, but if you got all the way this far, I really do appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and follow me on this journey. I will absolutely wear this to work. I will absolutely be walking to end Alzheimer's this October, and if I can work my way into it, this is going to be there too. My whole setup. My other channel doesn't even know that yet, and that's where I campaign for the Alzheimer's Association. So might be cosplaying for a cause too. So I hope you're excited. I'm excited. Thank you always so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. Until next time, take care, creep it real. Bye-bye. This is the way. I had to at least once. At least once.